Hello guys, my name is Desmond and I welcome you to my lesson for today where we'll be looking at your mathematics, obviously number patterns. So ladies and gentlemen, as always, please do allow me to say it is very much important that I say it is very much important because Bali, what I'm about to say, it's massively. Hey, massively important, ladies and gentlemen, that I say a day without learning something new, it's a day wasted. Janie, please. Hamisa, please. Zozo, please do make sure that by the end of each and every lesson that I conduct, you learn something new. Very much important, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I did send some questions in the group. So what I'm going to quickly do now is just to refresh your minds before we start answering those exam questions. So we have already started with this chapter. I think we've gone halfway and we had to do corrections after you guys wrote some tests. So now, I just want to quickly remind you that under number pattern, we are actually looking at, let's say, 3 types of sequences. 3 types of sequences or number pattern. The first one being called linear, otherwise they can also refer to that as an arithmetic number pattern or arithmetic sequence. The second one, let's maybe talk about a geometric sequence. Thirdly, that's where we talk about quadratic. So remember guys, I won't go deep into that because there is a special lesson that focuses on everything regarding that. But one thing for sure, what I'm going to do now is just to remind you of the formulas that we'll be using. We do have, let's maybe say this is number 1. The formula for that one is obviously Tn, which is equals to A plus into n minus 1. You close the bracket and you're having D over the A representing term number 1, Tn being the nth term, and then honorable member did say n, it simply refers to the position in the number pattern, and then D being the difference, which is the first common difference under linear or arithmetic sequence. Number 2, we also discussed, let me quickly check on my notes, geometric sequence, where the formula looks like that. We are having r to the exponent n minus 1, whereby r, it refers to the ratio. And if you guys remember, I did say the ratio, and simply means something over something. But in this case, the something is actually term 2 divided by term 1, or otherwise term 3 over term 2. To summarize, we can say term of a bigger number, and that same number you minus it by 1. For example, you are having term 2, and then here it's actually 2 minus 1. So that is what that actually means. It summarizes that to say whatever the term that you are having, the bigger one minus that bigger one minus 1. So, and also same explanation goes under geometric. So lastly, we also look at a quadratic. So remember guys, for those of you guys who are attending my lesson for the very first time, everything that I'm saying now, it might not make sense, but I did conduct a lesson where I explain in detail all of those. All you need to do is just to be in the right group and be able to catch up. So, guys, just in case if I'm breaking or it's blurry, just let me know on your side. From time to time, I'll just check if all is in order. But maybe before I go deep, Ayanda, are you sure it's clear on your side? Can you clearly hear me when I speak? Oh, can you hear me that side? Is it clear? I see Simpiwe Kumalo. Guys, can someone just confirm if everything is clear up to this point?
So I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, then it's fine. I'm just trying to avoid a situation where I go far and some of you guys are not able to clearly hear me, thinking that maybe it's only you who's having poor connection. So, guys, let me then remind you of the formula for quadratic sequence. The general formula is Tn, which is equal to an squared plus bn plus c. And most importantly, guys, what you need to remember is that you have what we call the first difference. If you are given a number pattern there, obviously, for you to know what type of a sequence under quadratic, you will need at least 4. So you will have the first difference. This is what we call the first difference, and then you are going to have the second common difference. So there are also formulas included in that sequence, but I will make sure that as we start solving those questions, I remind you of all the necessary tools that you will need to work out the math problems. Maybe let's take this opportunity to have a look at those questions posted in the group. So just in case if you've got two devices, you can just forward the information posted in the group and have two devices that you'll be using. So maybe let me do this. Let me not remove all of that. Just in case if I need to refer back to this, I'll still have that information. So obviously, geometric, I've explained it as number 2, this as number 3. So you guys still remember that under a quadratic, we have that first term. We also have a first difference, and we also have the second difference. And this has got a formula. Just correct me if I'm wrong. I think in this case, we're saying that it's equals to 2a. This one is equals to 3a plus b. And then that is equals to a plus b plus c. Did I do vice versa or did I get it correct? For those of you who still remember.
So it looks correct.
Okay. So let me maybe take this away and bring a new whiteboard so that we don't lose that information. So from time to time, I'm going to refer back to that information so that you will have an idea of how you use that summarized information to answer the questions. So let's see. The first question that we'll be starting with is that one of question number 3. Question number 3 is what we will be starting with. Question number 3. Remember, just in case if you need to take a screenshot after every answer, you are welcome to do that so that you pay full attention to all that will be explained. So let's see, given the linear pattern, most importantly, guys, if you notice that I'm making a mistake, you are welcome to immediately point it out, because most of you guys assume that we do not make mistake. We do make mistakes, but what I like is that in this type of lessons, all the mistakes are noticeable, and you guys are able to correct me when I make those mistakes. So let's see. You are given a linear pattern, and this is the pattern that you are given. I hope I've copied it correctly. Most importantly, guys, this was an exam question, which is a November examination, DBE November exam paper. Most importantly, guys, these questions are very, very easy, especially when it comes to number pattern. It's not really that much complicated. I'm telling you, if you are in grade 10, you will fully understand what's going on here. And again, it will give you the confidence that if you can make sure that you fully pay attention in your grades, you won't struggle when you get to grade 12. So let's see. This is what you do under this chapter of a number pattern. The first question that you should ask yourself is the type. What type of a number pattern is that? Things might happen. What are those things? They might not specify the type of a number pattern. In that case, if it is not specified, it means you need to find out what type of a pattern is that. So that means you need to say that minus that and that minus that, just to check if you get the first common difference. If you don't, you continue to say that minus that. But in most cases, when you are given three terms, mostly it's a linear. But when you are given four terms, then you know it is most likely to be quadratic. If it fails on both, there is no other way. It has to be a geometric, where you say that divided by that divided by that, and it gives you a ratio. Now, in this case, do we know the type? Yes, we do. How did we know? Because it was specified to say this is linear pattern. Now that we do, the second step that you need to do, it's actually to find the common difference or the ratio. So what do I mean by that? Bantu bagiti, before you start looking at the questions, do this. Say 2 minus 7. What is that? I think it is -5. Do this. What is -3 minus 2? It's -5. So can you see? You already got common difference, which is actually the first common difference. Why am I saying the first? Because this is the first line of me doing the difference of that minus that. It gives me that minus that. So that is why I call it the first common difference. It's common because it's the same. So once you have done that, then you can confidently go for the questions. So that is normally the process that I go through when dealing with this chapter. So I'm pretty much sure that everyone is following. So I will just straight away attack the first question. Let's see. Determine the general term Tn of the linear pattern. And this question is only allocated 2 marks. Guys, anything allocated 1, 2, 3 marks, just know it's easy. Don't complicate things. Just know it's exactly what you know. It is as easy as you think. You just need to know that when they say calculate Tn, they just want you to write a formula in the form of Tn. But most importantly, you need to substitute the A value and the D value. Then you can have your equation in the form of n. So now, since we know it's a linear, what is the formula for linear? Is Tn, which is equals to a into n minus 1 close d. What is d? D, the difference. What is a? A being the first term. You always remember that alphabetically you start from a and then all the way up to z. So that a, it always reminds you that it's actually the first term of the number pattern. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now let's see. What is our a? Is it not 7? It's 7. Plus, what is n? For now, we don't really need to know what is n because the formula is in the form of n. So I'm just going to write n close. What is d? Already you have calculated for d. So now it's just a matter of you simplifying all of that, which is something that I've taught you guys when we started. So obviously, you're going to say that multiplied by that and that multiplied by that. So Bantu bakithi, at all the types, listen very carefully. At all the times, listen very carefully. At all the times, when you see a math problem, the moment you start seeing the brackets, that's where you are going to start, and you just write anything or everything as it is. It's 7, I write it as it is. This is where I'm having the brackets. So that is why I'm saying that by that, that by that. So let's see, what is that by that? It actually gives I'm just not sure if you want to start multiplying that one or maybe the n. Maybe let's go with the 1 and say that it obviously gives you positive 5, but when you say that by that, it gives you negative 5n. So that means, what is 5 plus 7? Is it not what is it, 12? I think it's 12 minus 5n. So that means this is actually Tn. That's how you answer this question, which says the general term. So this being the general term, it means whatever question that you might have in relation to that, you can easily use this because this is a shortcut to answer any question that you might have in relation to that. But wait, before I move on to the next question, are you guys sure that you fully understand what I was doing there? Liyahluma Tungu, are you sure you are not lost that side? Let's see, we've got
I
Alex.
have a question.
Yebo, that is the question, Rosie.
Okay, so why don't you take 5 to the other side, then divide by 5 on both sides, like divide with the coefficient, so that we'll find n.
Okay. So I understand your question, honorable member, but maybe let me quickly reread that question. It says determine the general term Tn. So can you see, determine the general term, comma, Tn of the linear pattern. So can you see that they actually want Tn, meaning whatever that you do, you need to have Tn on one side, which is equals to whatever that is simplified. So that means we are actually not calculating for n, but Tn. So that is why you don't take it to the other side, because the moment you do that, it means you're not longer calculating Tn, but you're calculating for n. So they are going to give you a wrong for that. I'm not sure if you get me, honorable member. Who was it? Was it you, Rosie? I think it was Rosie.
Yes, sir, it was me. Oh, thank you, sir, so much. I understand.
Okay. Another one with a question, guys. Just make sure that you ask any question that you would like to ask, because through your questions, guys, I'm able to then understand what's confusing you and explain it even better. I promise you guys, starting from tomorrow, we might not be looking or focusing on linear and quadratic. We'll conclude that today, On upcoming days, we will be focusing on another type being geometric. We haven't really done more questions on geometric. Once we complete that, then I'm going to have a special lesson with a specific grade. I will indicate that to address those specific chapters which are in those specific grades, one of those being series. You might find that you'll be doing more questions with my colleague, Miss Cynthia, taking you through either linear and quadratic together with a geometric in preparation for your upcoming test, which might be sometime next week, possibly next week on Saturday. So just make sure, guys, that you ask as many questions as possible. So before I move on, any question, Bantu Bagit?
No, sir.
Okay. I believe also that there is no question because that was a straightforward. Okay, let's see. What was that? That was Tn is equals to, I think it was 10. No, 12 minus that. Just make sure that I got it. Okay, so the next question, calculate the value of T20. Calculate the value of T20. So can you guys see what I'm seeing there? I actually see that there is that T and then we have 20 in place of N. If you look at this nicely, Bantu Bucket, it's more like where you see N, you put 20. Where you see N, you put what? You put 20. Hey, this question, it's allocated only 2 marks. So it's actually a believable that you'll get a mark for correct substitution and for your final answer. So what is the answer for that? I think it's 100 minus 12, which is negative number. Is it negative 88? What is that?
Negative 88.
Yes. Negative 88. Sipiwe, do you agree with that honorable member saying this is negative 88? Sipiwe, we also have Mbali Jike. Kambali, do you agree with that answer?
Yes, sir.
So for correct substitution and also for punching it on a calculator, we give you a mark for that. So now, let's move on to the next question. So let's see. 3.1.2. What are they saying there? So they say, which term in the pattern has a value of negative 138? Has a value of negative 138. Can maybe someone tell what exactly do they want us to calculate? Do they want us to calculate T, N, A, N, or D? Because under linear or arithmetic, it's either you calculate T, N, or A, N, or D. What exactly do you think they want us to calculate there?
We are calculating N.
Yes. Is it Lerato in KZN? Is it you, honorable member?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's someone speaking. I'm not sure if it's a question coming through. I also couldn't notice who it was. So, honorable members, in this case, N, it's exactly what they want you to calculate, meaning you are going to have your Tn being equated to that. So, that is 183, which is equals to 12 minus 5n. So, Rosie, this is how a question looks like where they want you to calculate for n. So, if you do more and more and more of this type of questions, you will tend to realize that if they say this, it means they want you to calculate that. If they say this, means they want you to calculate that. And again, I think I'll give you this as a tip. I'm sure you guys will agree with me that you must never find yourself calculating n and you find something like 1 over 2, you find something like 5 over something, never a fraction. It's either it's 1 or whatever number that you might have, but it's just never a decimal. So in case if you calculate n and you get a decimal, just know already that it's wrong, because a number, it's either it's term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, term 5, term 6, or term whatever, and it's never a negative number. Okay, so let's see. I'm sure someone is done there. Maybe take that to the other side, or otherwise, okay, whichever way you do it, it's either you take this to the other side or you take n to the other side, that to the other side. Doesn't really matter that. Okay, let's see. Negative 138 minus 12 equals negative 5n. What is that? That 2, it makes it 140, 150. Is it negative 150? I think so. And then you divide by negative 5 on both sides so that it cancels, and then you just remain with your n, which is equals to that. What is that? What is that? I'll need a calculator there. I just know it's going to be a positive value. What is that? Tembele, 150 divided by 5 is equals to 30. Is it everyone who's getting 30? Then you can say n is equals to 30. Is it everyone who's getting 30 there? Lecture me. Are you getting 30, honorable member?
Yes.
I think that was a yes. So now that's how you easily solve that. And for doing that, we are only going to give you 2 marks. So now let me remove all of that because we're going to a completely different question there. So I'm not surprised when you guys are not having questions, because this chapter, it is as easy as it seems. So let's see, this is where it gets a bit tricky. Just make sure that in case if you are confused or you've got some questions, you ask. You must ask. Okay, let's see. You are given 6, 2x plus 1, and that are the first 3 terms of a linear pattern. Calculate x. What's going on there? Maybe let me do this as a conversational thing. Can someone tell what is the type of that pattern? I see we have BEE here. BEE or B, do you want to give it a try, honorable member? What is the type of that number pattern?
So are you asking what is the type, or are you asking what's going on? I'm not sure if I understand.
I Kuli Tata Zonke. Tata Zonke. Which one do you want to answer, honorable member? Zitate Zonke. What an or what type of a number pattern is that?
Hey, say I'm gonna say linear because I get it, you wrote linear there. So
Yes,
it's
because I wrote. Do you know where it's coming from?
I'm not sure because I'm not seeing a common difference, so I'm not too sure.
Okay. Maybe let me do this, honorable members. Kuli, can you see, or is it blurry? Can you clearly see there?
Yes, I can see.
This is where it's coming from the statement itself. Name. So normally, when they give you a pattern that has letters, somehow they will specify the type of that number pattern. So that's where I know uh, that it's actually a linear. The information comes from the statement itself. So I can summary tick that. So you remember the coolies. I said before I even start looking at the questions, what do I do? Now that I know the type, what are we having? Are we having the first common difference, the second common difference, or are we having the ratio? What are we having there? Anyone to tell?
Looks like second common difference, maybe.
Second common difference. Okay, another one to give it a try. What are we having there? So let's try to follow this because it makes it easier. You will notice why. Remember, guys, just in case if I've asked a question and you've got no idea, just say no idea so that I know that you did get the question, but you've got no idea. Because sometimes I'm waiting, thinking that maybe the message is stuck somewhere in the toll gates and you haven't got the message. Rosie, we will
Sir, may I
honorable
give it
member.
a try?
Yes, give it a try.
So, sir, I think we will find the difference. We'll do as if we are finding the common difference because it's a linear. We'll say 2x plus 1 minus 6. That is the first term. Then 3x minus 3 minus 2x plus 1. But we'll put the bracket to the second difference. Then we'll solve in the second to the second term. And then will result with the one term. We have two terms, then we equate both terms, then we solve for x.
Yes, yes. Exactly that, Lerato. I did notice that you do know very well how to work this out. So remember, Lerato, you do know these things very well, but for our new honorable members who are not following those steps that we follow, maybe let's take it step by step. Is it common? Is it first common difference, or is it second common? No, first difference, or second common difference, or the ratio that we find under that typing linear.
It's a common difference.
It is the first common difference. So let's see. The cool is if you are having 2, 4, and 6, and whatever, this is what we mean by the first common difference. Difference, it simply means this minus that. That is the difference. So if you say this minus that and it gives you 2, you say that minus that, it gives you 2. So can you see this line? It is the first line where we are having the common difference. The common difference being 2. If it wasn't common, let's say maybe it was 4 here, and then for whatever it was 6, meaning it was going to be different numbers there. Then you are going to say this minus that. Then you get this as 2, that as 2. Can you see? This is the second layer of the difference. But this is common. So that means this one is not common. That's when you delete it. So that means under this, where you have two layers of difference, then that's when you're dealing with a quadratic pattern. But where you are having the first common difference, it is linear or arithmetic. So, hey, Lerato, last year you've been struggling to say arithmetic. Did you practice enough to say arithmetic, or is it still a struggle, honorable member?
I'm trying now, sir.
What is it? Hey, it's fine. So this is what Lerato was saying, honorable. Remember, before you start looking at the question itself, already you know that this is a linear. So that means you're going to say this minus that. So that means you are having 2x plus 1. The whole of that, that is why I'm putting it inside the brackets, minusing this 6. Unfortunately, in this case, you're not dealing with the numbers. That is why you can't say maybe 8 minus 4 and it gives you 4. But you have everything in terms of letters. That is the tricky part about this question. So now you are having the whole of that, which is 3x minus 3. It minus that term being 2x plus 1. But what you know is that this is the layer, which is a common. By common, it means this is actually equals to that. And also, let's see, with them being equal, it means you can just equate these two and then you solve for x. That's how easy it is. Why are you equating those? It's because you know that if it was 2, 4, and 6, this minus that is 2, this minus that is 2. So that means 2 is equals to 2. But in this case, because you're dealing with the letters, that is why you're going to just say all of that as it is, it's actually equals to all of that. Then you just solve for x. So that is the tricky part when it comes to. So let's see. Now, the question says solve for x. So let's see the brackets. You are obviously having 2x plus 1 minus 6, which is equals to. Also there you remove those brackets. You are having invisible 1 there. So that one is 1 times that, 1 times that. It doesn't change when you multiply by 1. But here, it's an invisible negative 1. So it's going to make that to be negative 2x and then that to be negative 1. So numbers on one side. Let's say maybe we are having this 2x, you take this to the other side, it's minus 3x, you take that to the other side, it changes the sign, it becomes 2x, and then this is equals to this and that, it's actually negative 4. And then let's see, this and that is negative 5. Sure. Ayanda, remember to mute your mic. So let's see. A negative 5 to the other side, it becomes a positive 5. So you are having 2x plus 2x. It's actually a 4x. And then you have this as minus 3x, which is equals to the whole of that. You punch it on a calculator, it gives you 1. It's more like you are having 4x minus 3x, that is x, which is equals to 1. Sure. This answer, I wonder if it makes sense. But do you guys understand that answer there? Does it make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Sir,
Oh,
Yes.
can I please ask how can I verify that your answer is right?
That means where we see x, we need to substitute that answer that we say it is 1. Then after, we'll try to say this minus that, that minus that as numbers, just to check if it gives us the common difference. So let's see. Let's say 6. Let's punch that on a calculator, Yolanda. What is 2 into 1 plus 1? You can just punch that. What is 3 into 1 minus 3? Obviously, this is 6. What is that? This is 3, isn't it? This is 3. And then what is this? I think that is 0. So let's see. What is 3 minus 6? Is it not negative 3? Yes, it is. What is 0 minus 3? Is it not negative 3? So can you see we are having common difference, which is a confirmation that our answer is correct. If we did not have common difference, then we know that one is not correct. Does it make sense there, Yolanda?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'm now going to remove all of that, and then we quickly jump onto the next question. But let's maybe jump onto the other question, because I think it's a bit short, and also there's some trick that I want you to be aware of under that question, which is that question number 4. So let's see. Question number 4, we are having consider the quadratic being that. I'm going to do the same. I will need to know the type, and also either I find the first or second that, and then it's either I need to find the ratio, then I look at the question. Okay, what type is that number pattern? That type is quadratic. How do I know? It was mentioned in the statement to say consider what is it? Consider the quadratic pattern. So before I even look at the question, let me quickly check if indeed it is a quadratic. So what is 12 minus 8? What is that? Is it 4? I think. Yes, it's 4. It has to be 4. But what is 8 minus 5? I think that is 3. What is 5 minus 3? I think that is 2. Okay, can you see the first common difference? It is not common. The first difference we call that the first difference. So now you are going to say this minus that, it gives you 1. That minus that, it gives. So can you see now you are having the second CD, or the second common difference? Then you know you are actually closer to answering the questions, because now you have confirmed the type, and you have confirmed that it has the common the second common difference. So now let's have a look at the question. Determine the value of T26. Determine the value of T26. So that means they want you to determine the value of term number 26. In this question, it's allocated how many marks? It's 6 marks. So now, obviously, you need to know the general formula of that type of a pattern. That is that is that. So what they want you to calculate is actually term number 26, but you can't calculate term number 6 without you knowing the A value, the B value, and the C value. That is why you will therefore need to calculate the A, B, and C value. So now, when you have a look at that summary, you will realize that once you are dealing with that type of an equation, you will need to know what is that, and also what is that. That is why I said you need to know the type, and also find what is it, the difference. So this value you equate it to e to 2a. This value equated to that you equated to that. So that means you need to know those formulas by heart because they might not be given to you. So can you see? This is the one that you equate to 2a. So you're going to say 2a is equals to 1. And then from there, this is the one that you equate to 3a plus b. It is the one that you equate it to that. And then this one, it is the one that you equate to, I think it's a plus b plus c is equals to 3. That's all that you need to know to derive the general equation of a quadratic. So just to make sure that I won't be confusing you guys, I'm just going to explain until the end, and what you do from your side, just check if you've got any questions, and then we'll discuss those. Also, if it happens that you don't have any question, I do understand very well that it doesn't necessarily mean that you fully understand. I wouldn't say because I taught you that when it comes in a test, I would expect you to then get 100%. But I will give you a test where I will try to check if you can apply the knowledge that you got in your classes. So let's see. I realize that if I can calculate the A value, I will substitute it there to get the B value. Once I've got obviously the A and the B value, I will then move on to there to calculate the C value because I'll be having A and B. That is why I've written this in that order. So obviously you divide by 2 on both sides. So that means A is actually 1 over 2. Then I'm going to take this A and substitute it there to calculate B. So that means I'm having 3 into 1 over 2 plus B being equals to 2. Then you transpose, it's more like you're having B, which is, what is 2 minus the whole of that, which is 3 over 2? What is 2 minus 3 over 2?
One over two.
Someone is saying 1 over 2. Is that correct? Is everyone getting the same answer there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let's see. We take those we substitute there. We're having half plus c equals to 3. So I think half plus half is 1 most. Half of a loaf plus half of a loaf is 1 plus c equals to 3. Then you take that to the other side, it changes the sign, then it's 3 minus 1, which is 2. So are you also getting the same answer there for c?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then in that case, that means we can then take the A value, substitute it there, B there, C there, and then calculate term 26. So that means Tn, which is the general, it's actually equals to 1 over 2n squared plus 1 over 2, because you said that is B, then n, and then plus C, you guys said C is 2. It also doesn't matter if you write this thing as Tn being equals to n squared over 2 plus n over 2 plus 2. It's actually the same thing. So now the question, remember, it said where you see n, substitute 26. So that means we are actually now going to calculate term number 26. Where you see n, you're going to put 26 squared then over 2 plus 26 over 2 plus 2. The answer that you get, it is a term number 26. I'm not sure if you guys are getting that answer. What is that answer, eh, honorable members? Members? Let me also check.
So it gives me 353.
353. Is it the same answer for everyone?
Answer bala. Calculate.
Say I'm lost. Say
I had someone saying, Lerato, are you lost, honorable member?
yes, sir.
Same, sir.
When you count
Kwenzenja.
from 1, 2, 3, and the third one, say third step.
Let's
Counting
see.
from down.
Counting from down, then it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Is it this one?
Yes, sir. From there
Yes.
to the next step. What's
Mm-hmm. I'm suspecting honorable member is asking from that step what happened there. I'm just not sure if that's what you say, Nerato, because you were breaking. But let me make you guys aware that if you have, let's say, 1 over 2 times x, this thing, it is actually the same as x over 2. Whether you are having squared or cubed, it doesn't change anything. So this step and that step is the same thing. I'm not sure, Lerato, if maybe I've answered your question, even though I could not get it. Can you maybe try to repeat that question, honorable member? Guys, did anyone hear what Lerato was asking there? I couldn't hear the question.
No, sir. I didn't hear as well.
Lerato, awuyicacise lapha, awuyicacise umbuzo wakho ukuthi kahle kahle uthini Ntombo? What are you saying, Lerato? But otherwise, what did you guys get when you punched that? And it wasn't Lerato alone who had a question. Someone also had a question. What was it?
So I think Lerato
Mm-hmm.
was saying she was lost at the last step. Like, what did you do? And then what did you do after that? The first three steps she got it, but then when you said TN, I think that's where she's lost.
On which one? This step?
Yeah, personally, how you got that answer?
Okay, maybe. It's fine, Yolanda. You can, yes. Thanks. You noticed to me. Okay, so this is what I was trying to explain. If you are having, let's say, Tn is equals to 1 over 2n squared plus 1 over 2n, obviously plus 2, no, plus 2 there. So what I was saying is this is half of n squared. Also, it can be written as n squared over 2. Agree? Everything that you divide by 2 is half of it. And also this one, it's actually half of n. So you can still rewrite it as just n over 2. Then you have plus 2. So whether you write it this way and substitute it from this equation is the same thing as you do there. So let's say you have 5 over 3x. So what I'm saying is this thing, it's actually the same as 5x. You just divide that by 3. Whether you are having to the power of 4, it also goes there. So there's nothing much that I've actually changed there. Let's say maybe this was plus 19 over 3x. n. So that means here I would still write it as that. It doesn't really change much. That is just maybe Yolanda. What I've just explained there, does it make sense from your side? I think
Yes,
it
sir.
does. Yes. So, what is that answer there, Pantupakit? Anyone who got an answer? Someone said something.
53.
What was that?
353.
353.
Yes. Also got the same answer. So that is 353. So that's how you score yourself what is it? 6 marks. Yes, this question is worth 6 marks. So that's how you score yourself those many marks. So now I actually wanted to take you guys through that next question. That is the one which is a bit more interesting. So I'm just going to remove all of that. Then we tackle that question. What is that? This is 4.2. A certain quadratic pattern has the following characteristics. Zazobuya na. Lerato, ngicela ukuthi uvule mandlebe that side. Ungathi kusasoshuba la. Wonke umuntu avule madlebe and futhi athule athi dwi ngoba kusasobuya. And I know some of you guys do have an idea of what's going on over there. Okay, maybe let's follow the same procedure. What type of a pattern is that? Anyone who can tell? What type of a pattern is that?
So it's a quadratic because you said it's a quadratic equation.
Waze kanjani?
Ushilo sengalikahle ufunda ipassage.
Yes. Futhi uyifundile a statement. So that means we were told that it is a quadratic. So that means we completely forget about arithmetic and geometric. Then you only remember all the characteristics of that, which are those. Pantubagi Okay, so now let's see. That means we know we need to find the common, the second common difference if we can. But now this is what we are given. Let's try to make sense out of that. What do you understand of T1? Can someone tell? What's your understanding of T1?
T1 is the first term.
Yes. Maybe let's try to derive either a sequence or what. So, do you guys agree that P, it is actually the first sequence, the first term of that quadratic pattern. So now, what's your understanding of T2?
T2 is 18.
So T2 means term number 2. This is term number 1. 18 is term number 2. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay. T4. What's your understanding of T4?
T4.
Term number 4, sir.
It recall 4 times term number 1. Yeah. Shoot, it's 4p.
So if this is term number 1, this is term number 2, they skipped term number 3, all of a Sunday we are on term number 4, which is what? Which is 4T1. Be careful of that. What is T1? We know that T1 is P. So that means we are having 4P. Does it make sense, that part, to everyone?
Yes.
So I'm going to remove that T1 and put P there. Why? Because they said term number 4 is 4 times T1, and T1 is P. So now let's continue. They say term number 3 minus term number 2 is equals to 10. Term number 3 minus term number 2 is equals to a 10. Is there something that we can do with that information, guys? Is there
Yes.
something that we can do with that? Okay, Lerato noted. Maybe let me ask someone who is in parliament. I'm sure you guys are not. Hey, guys, we don't sleep in parliament. We are planning for our country. So, fellow South Africans, wat gaan aan hierso? Can we do something with that information which says term 3 minus term 2 is equals to 10? Can we do something with that?
Yes, term 3 is 28.
Waze kanjani utshela ubani ukuthi term number 3 is 28?
So I added 18 with 10 and then I subtracted 10 again. Then I found 18 again.
U-ede kanjani? Ubani athe u-ede? Honorable member, waze kanjani ukuthi umele u-ede?
I don't know, sir. I just added. I don't know, honestly.
Hey,
Sir, can I try?
Shukti.
Term
Yes.
Okay, you see, like I see they already give us T2.
Yes.
That means we have 18 there. So T3 minus 18 is equals to 10.
Oh, so you're saying this minus that is equals to 10.
Yes.
Okay. How did you know?
It's given.
It's given there, sir. See,
Yes.
T3 minus
Yes.
T2 is equals to 10.
Yes, it's given. Continue. Okay. So, let me quickly take over. So, since you know that this term minus that one, it gives you that. They've just given you this term 3, but in reverse. So you need to work it in the forward direction. So that means in the forward direction, this plus that, it gives you that, which is what? Which is where 28 comes from. That's actually what I wanted honorable member to explain there. To say, you do know very well that if they say maybe let's say 2, 4, 6, 8, if they say this minus that is equals to 2, So that means this plus that is going to take you there. So you just need to be careful of that. They give you something in reverse, you just need to play around it in the other way round. So let's see. Now that you know that when you say that minus that, it gives you 10. Do you guys also agree that under that type of a pattern, you also have 18 minus p? You also have 4p minus 28. But you do know very well that this is your first D. You still need to find the second C, D that you're going to use in order to answer the questions. So that means you're going to have, what is it? It's going to be 10 minus that. So you're going to have 10 minus into 18 minus P, which has to be equals to, what is it? Is it not supposed to be equals to 4p minus 28 minus 10? So that's when you can say this is equals to that, because of your understanding of what is it? That type of a number pattern. But wait, guys, am I not losing you there? Because you might find that I've actually lost you guys. Am I not losing you there?
So I think it's a bit confusing since you've already equated the second difference. It's better if you do it as a pattern, then we'll equate it under that one, because now it's a bit confusing, sir.
So it's better if I remove that equation, nay?
Yes.
Okay. But wait, before we even finalize this question, isn't there someone who's got a question there? The Umis, are you satisfied, honorable member, with what we have done there?
Yes, sir.
Wait, let me just.
I'm following.
Is it everyone who's following? Mwana Mokwena,
Yes,
wa
sir.
kwishisha already amona.
Yes, I understand.
Rosie, Mzozozo, are you sure I'm not losing you there? Mwana Mamecha, wa kwishisha already go etsagalang flofa?
What number 2, number 3? Satena kikushish.
Yeah, this part. Is it that part? Mwana Mamecha. I will have to try something just so that we are all on the same page, because I'm just suspecting there might be someone who doesn't understand, and also they don't know why they don't understand. Let's see, we are having 2, and then we have 4 there, and then we have a, what is it, maybe let's say 2, and then that plus that, it gives 4, and then that plus that, it gives what? What is this plus that? That is 6. What is 6 plus 6? It's 12. And then it has to be 2. What is 2 plus 6, 7, 8? We're having 8. What is 12? Then we are having 20 there. We're having. So that's how they set a number pattern for quadratic. Then they remove all of that. They remove all of that. Let's say this, it's actually that. This is term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4. So what we know is that if you say this minus that, what does it give you? Gives you 4. If you say this minus that, it gives you 6. If you say this minus that, it gives you 8. So this is what we have done there. Can you see? We say that minus that, it gives you that. But here, it's not in numbers. You have a number and a letter. That is why we just write it as a number minusing a letter. We leave it as it is. And then you say this minus that. This one is the one that gives you a number, which is that. And then you say this minus that. Can you see? It gives you a that in a form of a letter. So it is actually that step. But we know that under quadratic, we also have a second layer of that minusing that. So what is this minus that? Is it not 2? What is this minus that? Is it not 2? So can you see? When you get to the second layer, that's where you have the difference being equal. So when Lerato was saying the equal, it's now confusing, she was actually referring to that equal sign that I've put there, where I wanted to show you that when you get to the second layer, this you can equate it to that because they are the same or is the same thing. That is why there I had an equal sign. Why did I have that equal sign? It's because I knew that you can just take your 10 minus into 18 minus p close. You just equate it with that 4p minus 28 minus 10. Then you can solve for p because the question said solve for p. So let's see. You are having 10. What is that by that? That by that, it gives you negative 18. That by that, it gives you positive p. And then you are having 4p on this side. What is that? I think this is negative 38. Be careful, punch negative 28 minus 10 on your calculator. Then now, we just want to have one letter on one side. Maybe let's take that to the other side. So you have a choice to either take it to the right so that you say 4p u minus that p. Then that means you will need to take this number to the other side. Then let's see, you are having 10 minus 18. When you take this to the other side, it becomes 38. So what is all of that on a calculator? Let's see, is 10 minus 18 plus 38. I'm getting 30, which is, what is a 4p minus, that is actually 3p. So can you see, for you to get p, you will say 30 divided by 3. Let's see what it is 10. So that means actually a p, which is what the question wanted you to calculate, it's equals to 10. And then if you want to know if that answer is correct, you also do the same variable member. You are then going to substitute a 10 there. So that means it's more like there, it is actually a 10. Maybe let me remove that and say that is actually 10 there. And then here it's 4 times 10, which is 40. Then say this minus that, get an answer. Say this minus that, get an answer. Say this minus that, get an answer. Then from those three answers, say this minus that, check if it gives you a number which is the same as that minus that. If you get the same answer, that's how you know that your P is 100% correct. I think this wraps our lesson for today. I will indicate
Can I ask
what's
something
going to
when
be
you
happening tomorrow. Yebo, who's speaking? Is it Molebo? Oh, Molebo. Yebo.
ke kopa o botsisa sengwe mo after mo tsereng 10 we said 10 minus 18 minus p I get after
Mokai.
mo second step ya black pen ya yeah ke batla go botsisa because ke ntse something opposite ke batla itse ro nthe ke ntseng wrong na from mo re leng mo teng ke itse 10 minus 18 I get ebe ke thola negative
8.
8 ebe ke ngwala is negative 8 plus p I get
Mm.
mara ebe nna ke sa divide ka negative ke sa divide ka negative ke batla itse rwana mo gore e change p ele e ska nna positive in a negative o divide ka negative number o divide ka negative
But wait, kana mo or really negative 8 or negative 18?
utlwa ke thotse negative 18 akere ya nna so ka e
Oh,
tlogela ile
yes.
so ya ga ke tla ko the second
Yeah.
step ka re 10 minus 18 ka ngwala negative 18p negative 18 plus p akere
Oh, yes. Yeah.
ka ngwala negative 18 plus p ya re ha ke fetse o tswa ka foo ka re equals to 4p minus 38 akere
Yes.
so nna ha ke tswa mo ga zanka tlhele ke ebe nna ke transpose ke tsa 38 ele ke isa ka kwa e nna positive ke tsa p ole as negative a ya ka kwa a nna positive ebe ke re negative 8 minus 38 ebe mpha 30 so ke batla itse gore ke like mo go sa divide ka negative nna wrong na ka mo go ke yentseng.
And then, okay, let's say finally, in the end, o 30 is equals to 3p.
Ke feleletse ke kry-a 30 is equals to 5p because a ke re nna ne ke sa po wa ka ha fitlha ka fo bile positive ha nna negative because ne ke sa divider ka negative.
No, o tlo tlameha gore ke ngwale a re ngwale mo stepeng sela before o kry-a 5p kana or ke eng step
Ka re ke 10 minus 18
yeah.
ke 10 minus plus p
yeah a re itse mo plus p it's equals to
4p 4p minus 28 minus 10
minus 28 minus 10 yeah a re itse mo a re bereke jwale and then kana wareng
nna from mo utlwe ebe ke re 10 minus 18 ebe mpha negative 8
yeah
plus p plus po again ebe ke re negative 28 minus 10 ebe mpha negative 38 ebe ke re equals to 4p minus 38 again nna ha ke fitlha fa ebe ke sa tlhele ke sa divide ka negative o ke batla go botsisa mo because ke lemogile gore nna ebe ke sa divide ka negative e nna ebe ke tsa po ha po na ntse le negative wa ya le positive or na le positive po na ntse le negative e nna minus p e re minus p mo ne se negative na se positive
okay
wrong.
Yeah, ha re check something ke understand hore o ka be o dile mistake mo kae o gopola hore wa e bona no wa e bona
yeah ke a bona
yeah and then ke sure hore from there o ka fitla mo ko p is equals to 10
yeah no ke nana ke tlo fitla fone ke batlo tlhaloganya phoso e ke entseng mo ka gore na ne ke sa multiply okay
yeah so oh yes ke that p so honorable members, remember the moment you are having, let's say, something similar to this, you then need to put it inside the brackets because that's where the trick comes. Examiner knows that you will need to multiply that by that, that by that, and you're having a negative, which is going to have an impact on that sign. So those are some of the tricks that a examiner will catch you. But otherwise, it makes sense in almost a level. Okay. Guys, am I signing out or is there any question that you guys would like to ask? Remember, guys, if you don't ask me questions, I'm going to ask you these questions that you are not asking me on your upcoming test, and you will in a written form have to respond to my questions. But just make sure that you fully understand everything before I sign out. I was saying I will communicate regarding tomorrow's lesson in case if no one, not everyone will be invited. I will specify in that case. So just in case on some days we have 2 maths lessons, it could be that we are focusing on a specific grade. But I'll just think about that after this lesson. Then I will communicate in the group. Anyone who's got a question? Umi, are you happy that side?
So,
Yolanda has got their mics unmuted. Yebo.
okay, sir. So you said 4p minus 28 minus 10, right?
Oh yes, there. Yeah.
But if you punch that in a calculator, it gives you 34, not 38.
34. Okay, what did you punch?
I said 4 minus 28 minus 10.
4. No. This one, remember, is 4p. Nah, it's not a number. It's 4p. On your calculator, you don't have p, isn't it?
Yes.
So you only punch a negative 28 minus 10 because that's a number is punchable on a calculator. But any number that is attached to a letter, you can't punch it on a calculator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is why it's more like you work the like terms. Numbers, you work them with the numbers, and then pap, you have 4 pap on this side, you have 1 pap on this other side. So that's why we had to take that number to the other side and then pap to work it out with that pap. Then we end up having a pap being 10. Makes sense, honorable member?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Guys, mzozozo labantu ba abafuni ukuthi behambe.
Hello.
Yes, Umi. Yebo.
Please, can you calculate for us the T4?
T4.
Yeah.
Hey, T4, is it not a 40 honorable member? Because if T is 10, where I see T, I put 10. So it's more like it's 4 times 10, which is 40. Can you see there?
Yeah. Then you minus 28 again.
You mean if you want that term? Yes.
Yeah.
Where? Yes, but this is not T4 name. So let's say this is T1, this is T2, this is T3, this is T4. So when you say this minus that, it just gives you that. If you say this minus that, it gives you that. If you say that minus that, it gives you that. So if you want to know the actual value of that, then you're going to say 4 into 10 minus 20. So it's more like 40 minus that. What is that as a number? What is that? Yes, it's 12. So that means here it's actually 12. And then here we know it's 10. What about here? So it's more like it's 18 minus p, which is 18 minus 10. What is that as a number? It's 8. Can you see? So it's more like you are having 8, 10, 12. So that means I can already tell that if you say 12 minus that, what does it? It gives you, what is it, 2. If you say this minus that, it gives you 2. So can you see you are having common difference? It actually confirms that this is correct. Otherwise, you can still say 40 into 10 minus 28 minus 10 is going to give you 2. 10 minus into 18 minus p. I'm telling you, amadlozi ami ayavuma ati izokunikeza 2. Mzozozo, can you release me, honorable member? I'm depending on you for my departure.
Minera, how are you?
Hey, Alex, I'm good. How are you, sir?
Minera, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. On the first black line, calculation, sorry, which
This one.
says 10 on your left hand side.
This
On
side,
the left hand side, where it says 10 minus 18 minus p. Sorry, I didn't get it. How did that minus, how did it change to a plus under that one?
So remember, it's because when you multiply a negative by a negative, it gives you a positive.
Yes.
That is why. So you are having 10 minus into, it's not 10 minus 18 minus p. It's actually 10 minus into 18 minus p. So mathematically, we have an invisible one there. So this thing is actually 10 minus invisible one into that. And the rule says when you remove the brackets, you say that by that, that by that. So you are having 10. What is negative 1 times 18? It gives you negative 18. What is negative 1 times that negative invisible 1p? It gives you positive invisible 1p. So that's where that plus comes from.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Mzozozo, ndiyakucela. Ndiyakucela Mzozozo. Is Mzozozo there? It seems like Mzozozo not there. Guys,
I have a question.
yes. What is the question?
Ke question e re dileng la ya test la ya calculate the sum of the digits of 2 to the exponent 2015 times to the exponent 2019.
Oh, okay. No, I remember. So, the question honorable member is asking, it has got nothing to do with this. So, whoever who's going to attend physics, it's fine. You can leave the lesson and prepare for your physics lesson. So, this is honorable member who was following or catching up on the previous lesson. Kana, I think maybe Matapelo, Mara quickly, what was that question, kids? The original question, Nailing.
The exponent 2015 times 5 to the exponent 2019.
Sure, it was breaking. Or Nailing,
2 to the exponent 2015. 2015 times 5 to the exponent 19.
2019 or 19? Yeah. Over.
Say.
Nearly so. No, it's not over something. Matapelo. No, it's not over something. Nearly so, fella.
Say.
Okay, I think that was a yes. Okay, so hey, Matapelo, are you sure that question was like this? Was it not over something? Okay, let's see. So I think what I said with this question was, how can I make the exponents the same? Let's see. If I have 2 to the exponent 2015 multiplied by, what if I say 5 to the exponent 2015? Then I will need to multiply by the same base. But what power can I have that will take me to 2019? Is it not 4? Because if you have the same basis, you add the exponents. 2015 plus 4 is 2019. Then let's see. Now I'm having the same exponents. So it's more like I actually have 5 to the power 4 into 2 multiplied by 5 close to the exponent 2015. I'm not sure, Matapelo, if you realize that this 2 is actually that one. This 5 is that one. This 2015 it's actually coming from there because it is the same power. So now, when you punch this on a calculator, what are you getting? Let's quickly check. If you say 5 to the power of 4, it's 625. So it's 625 into, I think, wait, this plus that, is it not 10? It's 10. Yes, it's 10 to the exponent 2015. So mathematically, this thing is the same as 625 times 10 to the power of 2015. So what I said, the ohms, was that every time when you have, let's say, 2 times 10 to the power of 4, this thing alone, let me quickly mute, who's that? Lichumi. Lichumile, remember to mute your mic. Okay, so this thing, this part on its own, it means 4 zeros. So that means you're going to have 2 and 4 zeros. That's what it means. If it's times 10 to the power of 5, it means 5 zeros. If it's times 10 to the power of 20, it means 20 zero. Whether you have 12 this side, whether you have 112, that means you just write it as it is. But this alone, it means that. Let's try to make sense out of this. So it's more like we are having 625 and 2015 zeros. So you can imagine 2015 zeros, it's a lot of zeros. That is why we end up just doing that. So it's more like this is 625. Hey, I'm not sure to say millions of billions of billions of millions of I'm sure even Zuma, he wouldn't bother to try and tell you what that number. It's a big number, honorable member. Trust me. Even a calculator itself, I'm sure if you punch that, it's going to give you an error and say, hey, ufuna ukuthi ngihlanye. So now the question itself said calculate the sum. What did I think the sum of the digits or something. So that means they just wanted you to say 6, you plus it with 2, you plus it with what? 5, and you're getting what? This is, what is this? This is 7, 7 plus 6. What is that? 7 plus 6. 7 plus 6 is 13. I think it's 13. So that's how you get that 13. Hey, Mzozozo is back. Matapelo, why kushisha no? Do you kushish it? Is it kushishable? Mzozozo, I've been begging honorable members to leave. No one was allowing me to sign out. Mzozozo, don't worry much about what we were doing there. Just allow me to sign out, Mzozozo. Do you allow me to sign out, Mzozozo? Manje ngiyabaleka manje. Manje ngiyabaleka. Mzozozo, can I sign out?
Thank you, sir.
Guys, thank you very much for joining. My name is Desmond, and I'm out. Hey, balekile. Balekile.